You're on.
It's 1 minute until.
How come my computer said 6? Now you're on.
All right, it's 6 o'clock. We have changed our time. And it is December 30th, and we're ready to begin our select board meeting. I'll begin with our warrants. I'll begin with payroll number 53. I'd like to make a motion that we approve for $1,845.98. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. I'd like to move that we approve payroll number 54 for $11,303.25. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor? And this one is the fire department's quarterly expenses that we pay their stipends. I'd like to make a motion that we approve payroll number 55 for $4,217.44. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And the reason that one is higher than normal is because we pay our road commissioner, we pay Evan, our assessor, so that added us. All right, I'd like to move that we approve accounts payable number 56 for $90,967.39. Do I have a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right,
And Charlotte has joined us.
good. Welcome, Charlotte. Then here's a copy of the agenda. All right, I'd like to make a motion that we approve the select board meeting.
The 12-19 minutes.
Right, December 9th of 16th, which was our regular board meeting. Okay, and all in favor? Right. Yeah,
I just banged these ones out. This is the 12-19 meeting, just the two of you there, and that one motion to approve the instructions occur.
Took you longer to type it than it did for us to have a meeting.
all right. I'd like to make a motion that we approve the meeting on December 19th. And that was a specially called meeting to approve spending $5,000 for Center for Tech and Civic Life grant. And by the way, we have now spent $4,897, and we'll spend the rest of that money tomorrow. So do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, citizens issues. Do we have any citizens? I don't have a couple, but here's a citizens issue, or you want to wait till we get to Rose?
Rose
For harbor master.
Harbor man.
go first.
Nope, all right. Ted Christie is here. Ted?
So I have this application for the annual Harbor Masters meeting, association meeting. It just needs to be a check submitted for that. I have an envelope for you,
Okay.
which takes place in March. So
Do you get to wear a special hat?
no, I don't think so.
I think you need to wear a special.
No, I'm good. You first.
Ted is asking to attend the 40th annual training program and meeting at the Maine Maritime Academy. This is for his as his role as harbor master. Total cost is $350. I'd like to make a motion that we approve his attending that meeting. Do I have a second?
I want to put a condition on that he has to wear a special Westport Island hat, which I will create for you.
Ted.
And then, yeah, second.
All right, all in favor? Aye. All right. So this actually will need to go to Ashley to,
Actually,
cash the, to
you're right, yeah.
write the check, so,
You put it in there, I'll make a warrant request.
yeah, that will go into, she'll take care of that tomorrow.
Very good. The reference still on, should be all set. Other than that,
Perfect.
check being good.
Well, I have you. Do you have any questions or comments about I know that last I checked the doc, or
Sent you an email. Did you receive the email on that?
no,
Good.
or unless I did today, this afternoon?
No.
No,
Email off your website, select it.
Hmm.
It's not the individual selected email.
that's why. yeah.
Well, I was wondering if you,
Yeah,
it's not a good one to correspond with.
it is.
Checked occasionally, but not.
It's-
often.
it- it-
I think it's-
No.
It wasn't an everyday thing and I slacked off on the holidays.
Okay.
So what was your email?
The fact that we removed the floats on, December 20th, all on Tuesday and the
Perfect,
rest of the parking lot.
perfect.
And
There was also a big boat there. That last time we had checked, there was a nice sized boat dock there.
yeah, I
Was it
guess
boat?
there was some parking lot, the north side of floats, I guess he was living on Oak Island off and on, so. You know, I guess that boat's in Richard DeGrease's yard now, which is fine by me.
Yeah, I noticed there were several
Yeah.
there when I went last week.
There was no boat there when we removed the floats.
Good.
Dale Reno was there with his crew. He had the big piece of equipment in front of the loader that's up here for the standing. That was a big help removing the floats. Obviously couldn't do without him, so I'd like to give him a good plug on the Facebook.
Great.
That must have made it easy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, I don't know if you caught that, Charlotte, but Dale Reno helped Ted Christie make sure that the floats were pulled out. So, that made life a lot easier. So the floats are pulled out. All right, great. There are a couple of other citizens issues that I'd just like to mention. What was that?
I still have one more.
Oh, one more. Okay, before I go.
It's just like access for one quick question. So I recently purchased a piece of property in the north end of the island next to North End Co-op,
Mhm.
the Deepwater Dock, which my plan is to use it, for personal and for the business. So I would like to put it in CFMA, which the co-op isn't already. My two lots are in CFMA. So my question, I most recently went through that in 2015, was fairly straightforward. Whereas a zoning change, it requires approval at a town meeting. And of course, planning board meetings on the public hearing. My concern, I was hoping this process would have happened a lot sooner than it did, but it took a lot longer than anticipated. So the annual town meeting is obviously in June, and I can't really submit any applications, especially for the pier construction, prior to CFMA. That happens in June, the way the state's operating these days, they're probably putting into next year for any approvals for any work there as far as the waterfront portion goes. So I guess my question to you is, would you be opposed to, or can we do a special town meeting just for this purpose? And I'd certainly not be opposed if there are costs associated with that, depending if they are, divide for them. It's just it would certainly expedite the process for me, rather than waiting until the town meeting in June.
There is every year the possibility that we have to have a special meeting for something anyway. So we'll talk about that at our regular workshop and get a sense from the staff and the rest of the board. Also, we're gonna have a new assessor as of January 1st, which is Thursday, I think, or something like that, Wednesday. So
Thursday.
I'd like him to be involved as well, just because I know he would have some involvement in that. So
Absolutely.
we'll put it in the notes and we'll definitely discuss it and see if we can't after having a discussion with Josh is his name, if as we progress in the next month or so, look to see if we have to have a special meeting for anything else. So
Back on something we may have.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure we could probably shorten the June meeting quite a bit.
And we can come up with some stuff.
Basic stuff done.
yeah. So yeah.
I'm happy to go. costs associated, provide for that if necessary.
right, and I'm
Work
just,
with you as well on it, if it
Yep.
works out, all parties involved, that'd be great.
yeah, it would, to me, it would be better if we had a special meeting and had several items. It's a reason to get more people out.
Yeah.
Rather than one meeting for this and one meeting,
Right.
but I think pretty often we have, some meeting in January, February or something, so let us look.
Yep.
And, but we'll definitely, capture that and, get back, and if you don't hear from us, then
That's fine.
yes, you do, yes, you do,
Yeah, that'd be fine, appreciate that.
yeah. Anything else?
I'm done.
Okay, all right, so,
Thank you for taking care of the docs.
yes, yeah. I
Steve,
some,
yeah, Steve Rowley also helped well.
great, he is such an asset there.
Right, he was there.
Yeah. I know every time there's something that floats up or somebody drops something off there, we're hearing about it. The other day it was a latrine showed up. Somebody brought it. Did you get rid of it?
I never did get rid of it.
Yeah.
It's still sitting down there. Portion of a building underneath where the old basketball hoop was.
It looked like a latrine.
Yeah, you probably would have seen that. Okay.
Yeah. Probably more interesting.
On the floor, up there,
Hmm,
also there, sold last year.
Yeah.
Just the
interesting.
whole complete one almost wasn't it? Except for the seat.
Somebody's putting them too close to the water.
Well, I think it's involved with batteries and stuff.
Yeah.
That is from Bay Shore Road.
Did it?
I don't know.
Mhm.
Remember there was one down on that wall? The floor upside down, left. There's one down there, right, you know.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know how latrines can wind up the water, but
Trucking that in.
they wind up on our area level.
You see one, when I see that windstorm, I see one knocked over, and it's like, oh. It's like we got going next.
Two issues that have come up, as citizens issues. One is an issue about the robberies on that have happened on the island. And somebody had called me to let me know, and it's like, I'm not the folks who you should be calling when there's any kind of theft. So I strongly encouraged her to talk to the sheriff. She said she would. First, she wasn't going to, and then I told her if we don't, because both of them, I think, were mentioned in the Facebook, and then more recently there was another theft. But anyway, I just wanted to bring up that anytime there's anything, if it's road rage, if it's robberies, whatever, sheriff should be notified. And he has mentioned several times, like if somebody talks about road rage and it's like, if you call the next day, it's too late. So he has actually encouraged people to please don't call the select board, call the sheriff, because we are not the law enforcement for the town. And I don't want to get involved in that kind of issue anyway, but so I did say that I would mention this publicly, that there have been some, at least 2 robberies that I know of where they've gone inside places, so
In people's houses.
not in their houses, in their other buildings. Yeah. So, just to make sure that gets marked. The other thing that showed up, or that happened more recently, was we got called because there was hunting on Ferry Landing. And you talked about maybe being able to get a hold of the new
Game warden.
yeah, there was concern because there are a lot of houses right around the Ferry Landing.
One thing, hold out there.
I'm not
I
sure,
don't know the details. we got a text last weekend
last weekend, yeah.
that there were gunshots being fired from down at the ferry landing, and I pretty much responded like, well, maybe they're hunting. And then he said, oh, well, there's guys with rifles, and like, so I don't know the facts. I just know that there were people that were at the ferry landing that had guns, but that's not an illegal act in and of itself, and so.
Yeah, she said she saw them, she has found shells before, but this time, it's shell casings. And this time saw the folks and that they were hunting. But
That was duck hunting. To some form or shop.
I would assume
Mhm.
that that's something.
We can other than secrets, right?
Well, at duck hunting, I live just down the road from there. It's like if I'm out into my dock, I mean, I'd hate to think which direction they're shooting. And if they're shooting across, the distance from the other side is not that far either. Um,
Shotgun.
Shotgun isn't gonna make
The
it.
right there,
Good.
very concerned,
Yeah.
shotgun less.
if they have a shotgun, yeah.
You know, right there.
So, we don't have, we just, had the issue about having to say you can't keep your boat there, keep having to add new signs. I'd really like to maybe talk to the new warden and see what she has to say about hunting right there, because it just seems like it's so close to.
Yeah, we've had issues with Fairline, so trying to give me a call. I mean, I wasn't aware of the boat being there for quite a while. I just been off and on there for quite a while. It was somebody, they mentioned it to me, then I started asking around, oh, I got it living over on Oak Island, just going back and forth. In the boat there, somebody calls you or texts you, and you certainly throw something my way if you're walking, go down, look at it for
Yeah, yeah.
you. Police action, so to speak, I guess, same thing, usage of the fair. And hope it was there all summer, that before that. Yeah.
Yeah, there was one that was just parked in the parking lot and.
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah, we did the research on that. We actually sent a registered receipt letter. And once we got that, the boat disappeared.
Yeah.
We never got the letter back. But, the boat disappeared, which is what we wanted.
Right.
So, but yeah, and then there was one when Kim and I had been down there just a few weeks ago, and it was a nice big size.
Yep.
Boat, and we took a picture of the license, and Dee Dee found it for us. So we know who it was.
Yeah.
But then I heard that there had been another one for a while. So, yeah, but we will contact you for that. Will you contact the game warden and just see what's legal there? And then,
My suspicion is she's gonna wanna put a camera up, which is what she wanted to do after the crab shell incident. But then we realized, a game camera is motion detected, motion activated, and it's gonna use up probably all of its stuff in the
Yep.
first day.
Yep.
So that's a tough one because
Mhm.
without being able to go,
If you can get some monitoring equipment at that building, or is that the stuff that one time gets some?
It's a building, but it's still not close enough to get to the
they have
docket.
stuff in the building, but not.
Yeah.
So,
Something would be much effort, put a monitor on the outside of the building right at the launch area, and piggyback on that.
Yeah.
Could, if they was in a boat, I don't know what the laws are on that.
so for the duck hunters, there's no violation there if they're in a boat. If they're standing on public land at the boat
Yeah.
landing, that's a problem, but that's a pretty well-known issue. Like hunters can't look at you with a straight face and say, oh, I didn't know. But I wasn't there, so I don't have the facts, so I don't
Yeah.
know, but
Again, it was a citizen issue. It was brought to our attention, and,
For sure.
just any time we have a citizen's issue, we bring it to the board. Not that we can always do anything, but at least bringing it forward.
too bad they weren't mouse hunting.
All right, roads. Any update on roads, Jim?
Mud season, round one,
Yes, I was down on the south end of West Shore Road this afternoon. It's like, wow, once you get in a rut, you can't get back out. Yeah.
so, swishy.
Yep, yep. All right, committee reports. Any update on anything?
Oh, right in Maine.
Okay.
No, just a.
Well, yeah.
Well, it's been pretty quiet. All right.
Oh.
Select board business, we have several items for select board business. One, we need to sign the animal control. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Dan.
The animal.
What size on that hat?
The animal control officer services for that, and we need to sign that. We did review it. The three of us reviewed it together and agreed that it was something that we could live with. So I'd like to make a motion that we accept the agreement between Lincoln County and the town of Westport Island for animal control services. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Hi.
All right, so. Town of Westport right here. This is. Here.
Before you jump into the reval contract. I printed out an email for you, put it in here. We wanted to look into whether we could
Right,
sign this contract because we don't have explicit permission from town meeting.
right,
We applied permission because we've been setting aside money.
right.
But
My understanding, it's contingent on the 2025 town meeting approval, right, is what we need to be able to say
yes,
about this.
do you know, I haven't actually read this contract. Do you know if anything was mentioned in there about that contingency?
I don't remember. We have received a proposal from. What's his name? Josh
Berry.
Berry, who actually is going to be our new assessor. And he put forth a proposal for reval for the town of Westport. For 2027. The price is, and actually, I thought it was a reasonable price, was $165,750. We have approximately 60,000 in our in a reserve account right now for that. Clearly, it's not something that we can say yes to. Except that we know we need it and the town has been setting aside money for it. So April has checked with our legal folks and basically they said that we could approve it. But we have to be clear that it's contingent on the town approving it at the next town meeting.
So that document, is that a contract per se? I didn't see any space for like signatures, or is it just, I think it's their proposal.
I think it's his proposal, and what we need to do is be able to either accept or not his proposal, and then be able to say that the proposal is contingent on the town approval.
So there's no signing of this tonight. Basically, we need to have a contract drafted.
Right, but we need to either approve or not, or accept the proposal, right?
Yeah, I think, and I don't know a lot about this, so I'm open to your input too, but we put out an RFP for this. He is the only one who submitted a proposal. You'd like to accept the proposal.
Yep.
Does that bind you in some way before we actually draw up the contract and sign the contract? That's, because I'd like to be able
Like a
to.
letter of
accept it.
intent that you
Yeah.
intend to use his services.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you're comfortable with that, I am. I'm just, and then we'll come up with a more formal contract that you'll actually sign.
Yep.
And that will have that contingency on the 2025 town meeting.
Yeah,
Yeah, that sounds reasonable.
yeah, yeah. So, Charlotte, I'm not sure you caught all that, but basically, there isn't that much money in the budget right now, but we'd like to have him and sort of save this opportunity because we're sort of concerned that if we don't say yes and don't accept his bid, that we have been looking for assessors who would do a complete reval and that's generally 2 years out already. So we don't want to say no to this. We now at least know what it would cost us. And we're hoping that the town will approve it, but we can only say that we accept his bid, but it's contingent on whether the town actually approves it. So I'd like to make a motion that we would like to move forward with this bid, knowing that we can't commit anything fully until we have the town's approval. And if it doesn't start till 2027, that actually gives us 2 years to get the funds to do this. So I'd like to make a motion that we move forward with trying to work with Josh and the town to see about getting this contract together. Do I have a second?
Second,
All in favor?
all right,
Aye.
Okay, Phyllis.
Okay. So I'm gonna put it back in here with this, yeah. And the third thing that I have on the agenda is, we need to appoint, Luana Frois as Associate History Committee member. At one time we had one for her, we think, but, we couldn't find it, so we thought it would make more sense to make sure we have a nice clean copy. So I'd like to make a motion that we appoint, Luana Frois as, History Committee Associate Member. Do I have a second?
second,
All in favor?
all right.
Kim or April, do you have any other items for our agenda tonight?
I do not.
I do not.
Okay. As I said earlier, we were able to spend almost all of $5,000. Tomorrow, Jim will spend the rest of it for that one grant that we received thanks to April. And that will get us a step closer to fixing the front of the town hall.
Yeah.
But that money has to be spent by the end of December, so we've been working on that. Thank you, Chris, Mayette, for taking care of it for us. So if there are no other issues or concerns, then I'd like to make a motion that we adjourn this meeting. Do I have a second?
Second,
All in favor?
hi.
James,
Or seven.
Is that right? I'll figure it out.
6 and 7.